You're watching the CSGO Betting Edge, brought to you by plusEV Sports. Visit our website at plusevsports.com for write-ups and analysis, and join our Discord, plusevsports.com/discord, for all of our betting predictions. What's going on, guys? You are watching the CSGO Betting Edge, brought to you by plusevsports.com. Be sure to check out those links down below in the description. Join our Discord. Check out our website, www.plusevsports.com. Got tons of goodies on there. We got our blog. We got our Counter-Strike Go analysis, our picks there. We got a new guy on, Pixie. Shout out to you, my man, Dota. He's got some real sports too, and he likes those live picks. We also got an NBA model brewing up and some NHL model revitalization, which is doing fantastic. We're about to hit plus 400 units, so just what that means is if you were betting $100 units, you would have $40,000 in profit from what we posted year to date. All right, I'm just saying, it's been a great year. We're on to the next coming up real soon, but we're gonna finish this year out strong, so don't miss out. We got tons of picks, and we got a great tournament coming up. So let's dive in and take a look at what our experts think about ECS Finals. Today we're going to take a look at the ECS Season 8 Finals, featuring the 8 best teams through the ECS season. The teams are split into 2 groups. Group A, consisting of Avangar, EG, Team Liquid, and NIP. And Group B, with Astralis, Fnatic, MIBR, and Sharks. Before we dive into the individual matchups and group previews, it's worth noting that this will be the first big LAN being played on the new patch, which is where we saw the Krieg get more expensive, which is now 3K, and the price of the Galil and AUG reduced. We think it will be interesting how this patch will play out. In our opinion, 3K for the Krieg is still too cheap, but lowering the FAMAS and Galil price certainly is interesting. On paper, Avangar versus Evil Geniuses might look like an easy match for the Americans, but when you take a closer look, we might actually find some value here. Avantgarde, being a team who performs way better on LAN, was not able to showcase this at the CSGO Asian Championships due to missing Sanji half of the tournament because of visa issues. EG, on the other hand, had a very disappointing showing at the same tournament, bombing out 0-2 in the quarterfinals and looking completely lost on Dust 2 versus G2, the only team they beat. Stanislav's team might also be affected by the recent nerfed Krieg, a gun that has been their go-to within the last months. In the veto, we'll most likely see Inferno or Dust 2 pick, which will give us the opportunity to bet on Avangar on one of their favorite maps, Dust 2. Like previously mentioned, EG looked pretty clueless on it versus G2, and they most likely had not a lot of time to work it out. We recommend looking out for the veto and betting Avangar on Dust 2 for odds at least 2.6, or betting pre-veto at least 3.0 odds. In this matchup, we have NIP face off against Team Liquid. The Swedes have been able to make big improvements and slowly rise up in the rankings. They started the month in October ranked 17th, and as of today, ranked 8th on HLTV, with some impressive wins during the month. They've also been able to solidify themselves as a Swedish powerhouse and should not be underrated this tournament. The addition of Plopsky added a lot of needed firepower to this roster. On the other side, we have Liquid. A few months ago, they were considered the #1 team by a lot of people, but their form has recently dipped. They lost a lot of games that they should have won during the Blast Pro tourney, including a map to NIP. They're still Liquid, and we know that they're unstoppable at their peak, but until we see them set up, it's hard to back them at 1.45 odds. Considering the form of both teams and that it's best of 1, we'd recommend betting on NIP at odds anything above 2.75. On to the next, most clear-cut match of the group stage, Sharks versus Astralis. Let's talk about Astralis first. They're back being the best team in the world at the moment after their dominant performance at IEM Beijing, where they didn't drop a single map. This victory came just a few days after they didn't make the final in their home tournament, Blast Copenhagen, a familiar picture as they've struggled at tournaments in Denmark for a while. For us, Astralis are being back to being the undisputed #1 team right now, as Liquid hasn't been able to reach their level from this summer, and it seems like EG overperformed quite a lot in New York, since they've been able to put up the same numbers outside of this one tournament. Sharks, being a big underdog coming into here, showed potential online after acquiring the young Argentinian Mayron and Lucan from Isurus. They qualified for this tournament by accumulating prize money during the ECS season, where they finished second in the first 2 weeks, thus qualifying for finals, beating teams like Cloud9 and Liquid during that time. It's hard to say what to expect from Sharks. Astralis will most likely roll them. We won't bet on this match unless there will be a ridiculously high handicap plus odds on Sharks. However, we hope to at least get a glimpse of how Sharks can perform among the big guys to maybe take them as underdogs on later days of the tournament or at the Pro League Finals a few days later. We could see them take a map off MIBR, who hasn't seemed to found their groove with their new roster. However, making the call now is too early, as bets always depend on the odds. Don't ever forget it. For the last game, we have MIBR facing off against Fnatic in a best-of-1. Overall, Fnatic had a resurgence in their performance after Golden rejoined, and that's showing over the past few months as they're on the rise to the top, currently being ranked number 3 on HLTV rankings. Fnatic had a very good October, managing to win DreamHack's Master Malmo in the beginning of the month, and then finishing second at Turkey during the StarLadder I-League Season 8, where they lost versus EG in the finals, who are currently ranked second in the world. MIBR have been slowly improving ever since the addition of KNG, but let's remember that the key word here is slowly, because they've been really inconsistent, and they're not really a strong contender when it comes to winning LANs. If we look back at their past LAN results, they really haven't done a lot since the major. They finished 4th at Blast Moscow. Then they lost to Tricked in the semifinals at the V4 Future Sports Festival. And then the last LAN, they were like 5th, 6th place at the StarLadder I-League. They just recently ended up losing to ENCE, who's struggling themselves after the removal of IGL LXCB in the semis of the CSGO Asian Championship, where it was another 3rd, 4th place finish. Fnatic come into this rightfully as favorites to take the game. Last time these two faced off against each other was in StarLadder I-League Season 8, where Fnatic won 2-0 in a convincing fashion. For that best-of-3, they played Inferno, which was Fnatic's pick, Mirage, which was MIBR's pick, Fnatic permaban Vertigo, MIBR permaban Nuke. So Fnatic's currently on a 4-map losing streak though on Dust 2, so it seems logical that they'll avoid that for this game as well. Train is a map that MIBR has been picking a decent amount as well, rocking an 80% win rate on it, but it seems unlikely that Fnatic will risk allowing MIBR to pick it. This leaves us with Mirage, Inferno, and Overpass. Even though MIBR have been playing a lot of Inferno, a decent amount, they struggle pretty heavily on their CT side. Mirage is a middle ground for both teams, and Overpass is kind of the same. It's not a map either would pick first in a best-of-3, but it's surprising if it would end up being the decider map in one of them. Thus, it seems like the map for this best-of-1 could probably be Mirage or Overpass, as MIBR has been struggling on Inferno, and they'll try and avoid it. We would suggest betting MIBR for 1 unit if you manage to get 2.8 plus odds. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Good luck during your ECS Season 8 bets. Don't forget to follow us at +EV_sports. All the links are below. Join our Discord. Say what's up to me, AZNDY. I'd love to say hi. Let me know how you're doing. What you feeling for these bets. Because I'm not the CSGO pro, but I will listen to what my guys have to say. We are printing money, $40,000 this year. Come on, you can't beat that. +EV Sports, as always, best of luck and stay disciplined. Bye.